So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Obviously we've got another discussion video for you today, and it is regarding Azamina. Bear with me, get my notes up. So Azamina, I think it's going to be released in Rage of the Abyss. It's like a new archetype that's linked to the Diabell Star lore. Really interesting. It's a fusion deck, so you know, if you're a viewer of the channel, that piques my interest more than anything. But obviously some of them are illusion monsters, and what is an illusion deck that we have currently that we use? Correct, Chimera. So I just want to talk about like just a real quick tech. I'm not going to get into it too much. I'm not going to milk it. But obviously, some of the monsters, I'll just read out real quickly. So we have Azamina, Rhea, Silvera. There's a Dark Illusion Fusion Effect monster, level 6. So obviously there's some synergy there. The stats are pretty bad. It's not going to beat over anything. But it requires one illusion monster and one light spellcaster monster. You can only use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. Any battle damage your Azamina monsters other than itself inflict to your opponent is doubled, but it's the second effect really. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you contribute this card to negate that effect. So obviously it's a negate, like short and simple, it's a negate, and is really simple to make. So what I was thinking, with it simple to make, we can use any one of our illusions. So obviously we have Apprentice, we have Kotal, we have Sword Knight, we have Master Tau, as like the main deck options. Obviously we have the Diabells as well, but these are like the main ones in there. And then what I was thinking, to attribute this, I think this is now going to be like a really viable way to play as like a little engine. I was thinking we could possibly run 3 Fusion Deployment and 2 Blazing Cartesia. So yeah, really simple. Obviously the Fusion Deployment will lock us into fusions, but if we're going to link and we know we're going to link, then we can do that before we activate our Fusion Deployment. But realistically we're going to be doing that sort of thing first. But it is an option. We wouldn't be able to go into like Lars and stuff like that, which could obviously be a negative. But again, we could do plays before that if we really wanted to summon out our Cartesia. Then Cartesia is a light spellcaster, so we can use this and any one of our illusion names, and now we have a negate on board. So we could do that if we're not too worried and we're just going to go into fusion summoning. We can go deployment, summon Cartesia, Cartesia effect to fuse itself and Kotal or itself and Apprentice, and then obviously we have a negate on board, and then we can play. Even if we wanted to add something like a Guiding Quem also is a spellcaster, so we would be able to fuse with it. But also the other point I was going to make was, if we normal summon this, if we have other ways to play through our Patchwork stuff, through our Chimera stuff, if we open Chimera Fusion, it could be a possibility to normal summon her, send Blazing Cartesia from deck to grave, fuse using 2 monsters from my hand with Chimera Fusion or whatever, summon like one of our Chimera monsters, then we can go Quem effect to summon the Cartesia from the grave, and then if we use the Gazelle to add an illusion or anything like that, then we can now use Cartesia in that to make a negate and continue with our plays, and we've not been locked into fusion summoning that way. So yeah, just a real possibility for the first card. Let me know what you think for the first one. There is only one of the other fusions that I thought could be viable for this deck, and this would be one that we can make on our opponent's turn. So this one is called Azamina Sol Erysichthon. I've probably absolutely butchered that, but Yeah, be kind. So it takes an illusion monster and one fiend monster. So you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is fusion summoned, you can target one card on the field, send it to the graveyard. So essentially, it's just removal. What's really good is that it sends, it doesn't destroy, so things that have destruction protection, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, then we get around that clause by being able to just send it to the graveyard. So yeah, that's obviously the second monster. Obviously these will be up on your screen so you can see them. I will also point out that the artworks are absolutely outrageous. I really like them. I think they're really nice. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Obviously it's not like anything absolutely crazy, and other people are looking at that, maybe playing like a Diabell's engine in it and stuff like that, playing the wanted packages and stuff in it. But yeah, I really think that it could be a good way to play Chimera. And again, we would be able to utilize Blazing Cartesia. And another good thing with Blazing Cartesia, when we use her, she's just going to be constant resource coming back to our hand. So that's just going to be amazing, you know. So even on our opponent's turn, so if we fuse, make the negate, a fusion will go to our grave. That is like guaranteed, because if we're always going to make both of the chimeras, both of the fusion monsters, really, aren't we? We're obviously going to make Chimera the king, and we're going to make we're going to make Baphomet. So they're both going to be made. So one's going to be in the graveyard, so Cartesia is coming back to our hand. Then when we Chimera on our opponent's turn, and if we use the negate, we're obviously going to use Cartesia for the Chimera to go to the graveyard. Then she's going to come back in the end phase, because a fusion will again have been sent to our graveyard. So she's just constant resource coming back to our hands, and she allows us to make a negate. What's really cool about the negate monster as well is it's an illusion. So we would be able to send Master Tau to the graveyard to revive it. So that is also really cool in my opinion. So yeah, let me know what you think, guys, in the comment section down below. Do you think it's a good option for us? Do you think it would work? Do you think maybe just play a really small package, so like 3 fusion deployment and the 1 Cartesia? Or would you play the 2 Cartesia? Would you add a Quem just in case, just so that we can have an additional normal? Because Chimera has evolved to a point now that, because of things like Nightmare Apprentice, we don't rely on our normal summon. It is nice, and obviously Sword Knight does need to be normal summoned, but there are ways we can play that we don't have to normal summon. We can special summon the Sword Knight and play that way, and play around other things. So yeah, let me know what you think, guys, in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, we passed 1K not too long ago, and we're slowly climbing, very slowly climbing. But yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll see you. Okay guys, so just quickly before we end the video, we're now gonna have a little look at a deck list like I did for the Red Eyes support I did a little while ago. So obviously most stuff's gonna be pretty standard. We're obviously gonna play the 1 Diabell's, the 3 Nightmare Apprentice, 2 Baphomet, 3 Sword Knight, the 3 Gazelle, 3 Koto, and obviously the 3 Chimera Fusion. Obviously the engine package can be replaced. You don't have to play it. You can play more non-engine or something like that, but I just prefer that. I think most of the time the hands that I lose are the hands that I don't have a way to fuse. So having 2 extra poly and 4 other cards that help me get to it, as well as 3 Chimera Fusion, and then now the 2 Cartesia with the fusion deployment is just so much better. I now have like what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 ways to fuse, or 10 ways to get to a fusion, not including like Gazelle and stuff like that. So that's why I really prefer to just carry on playing the engine. But I've always played 2-2-2 as well, so I would continue to play like that. Obviously non-engine doesn't particularly matter. You can swap them for whatever you want. Obviously got 9 hand traps and the 2 talents, as well as the called by. and just because I think a draw will be quite prevalent in the next format, so we're definitely going to want to play that. May even have to play cross-outs with a singular draw in instead of the Veilers or something, but we'll have to see how the format shapes up. But obviously these cards don't come out until I think it's like November. That's when Rage of the Abyss is out. But yeah, onto the package that we've just been discussing. Obviously 3 Fusion Deployment, 2 Cartesia and the 1 Quem. I think these 6 cards are just perfect to play. If we've got like a really good hand, like 1 Fusion Deployment, and then we have everything else, we can obviously do all our other plays if we want to set up our normal stuff. If we want to make like an SP, if we want to make a Lars, and then obviously we can just go Fusion Deployment, get a Cartesia, and then finally just go Cartesia Fuse into the Silvera. So yeah, obviously here they are. On Omega they don't have the pictures yet, but this is the one that you can target 1 card on the field and send it. Erysichthon, and then obviously Silvera is the negate. So this is basically a turn 1 monster, and then Erysichthon, that will be a like on your opponent's turn. If you don't want to make a Chimera, you can make this just to send 1 monster instead as well. So yeah, I wish it said if this card is special summoned, that would be good, because then we could send it. Then when you revive it with Tau, you would be able to do it. Oh, Tau, I'm actually missing a Tau. So yeah, obviously 1 Tau as well, so up to 43 cards. So yeah, don't forget the Tau guys as well. So 43 cards. I think this is good though. It doesn't matter if you play more cards, because the Berthomets are bricks, so you don't really want to draw them. And you don't want to draw multiples of your patchwork stuff. You only really want to draw 1 of them. So yeah, and obviously because we are playing the Cartesia, I'm thinking we could play like 1 Dust Dragon, just as another option. We don't really have many things to send. You can obviously Foolish the Diabels because it's a level 6 or higher light or dark monster. Obviously this is a level 7, Apprentice is a level 6, so we can send the Diabels to be able to revive if we do want to go the Dust Dragon route. And obviously Dust Dragon can then, you could play Lulu or Lilith if you wanted. So yeah, you could play the Lulu or Lilith if you wanted like an extra negate instead of the Queritus, but obviously Queritus is good against Snake Eyes. You'd have to side maybe 1 Albaz in your extra and maybe a Mirror Jade or something so that it's useful, but yeah, maybe in this build Lulu or Lilith would be better, or even a Proskinion. Proskinion could be a good choice as well. It's a big monster, it does burn damage, and we can summon back our opponent's stuff. So that is another option as well, like just things to think about. Obviously we have these 3 monsters here that we can summon from the Dust Dragon, but again these can just be traded out if we're only going to be making the Silvera, maybe a second Silvera or something. Then obviously the standards, just 1 Phantom Beast, 2 Baphomet, 1 Chimera, just the 1 Guardian Chimera if we're going to play Erysichthon, because obviously we can make this if we want to target and send a monster. Oh, it says card as well, so target and send a card. We've obviously got Magnum as a removal option, and then the rest is just really standard. 1 Dragostapelia, SP Little Knight, Moocracker, Chaos Angel, and the Lars. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think this is a way to play it? I know some people in the branded builds kind of play these anyways, but I think just as standalone cards we could just play like these 6, or even like just the 5 with no Quem. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I will also point out that these are level 4 lights, so we would be able to make Chaos Angel with Nightmare Apprentice with these as well, so just another option there as well. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.